You have fire in your gut? Okay, we're here for a reason, to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast.
And welcome back to the latest greatest episode of the Shaving Points podcast. My name is Jayden May, joined as always by my co-host Quentin Crisco, as we break down week 12 of the NFL, week 13. What are we?
Week 12, week 13 of college football.
Well, going through every single game, dissecting every single, what we like, what we don't like. Talking a little bit about where these teams are going to end up at the end of the year, and yeah, just a full breakdown of the entire slate, and then we'll also do our minute show afterwards. If you want to stick around or check that out, both options will be available.
Yeah, if a quick 15-minute hitter is more your thing, then we offer that too, and you guys can get a taste of what we're picking. Quick one sentence why we like it, but this one. We're in depth. We're going talking it all through, and we're starting it off Thursday night football.
Going deeper than anybody in the biz.
Deep. It's all we do over at Shaving Points. Steelers at Browns, Thursday night football. Browns are 3.5-point favorites, or dogs, excuse me, despite saying 3.4 on the screen. I'll fix that. And a 36.5-point total.
Yeah, so Steelers, I don't know if they're really good or if the Ravens are a little overrated or if it's somewhere right in between. Because, I mean, the Steelers or the Ravens have had some stinkers this year. And when they're on their A game, they look unbeatable, but they've also not showed up to a couple games. I mean, they lost to the Raiders, who might be the worst team in the league. So I don't know what to think about this division in totality. Steelers defense is really, really good. But Russell Wilson looked bad. He tried to throw the game away late against the Ravens. But at the same time, he can make plays to keep you in the game. Outside of that, just one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life. He kept the ball away from the Ravens. So I don't know what to think here. What do you think here?
So this is one we said pre-show. It's a tougher slate this week. I took Steelers here. Steelers minus 3.5. I don't know if I actually like it though. Like I'm trying to talk myself into it.
It feels like a Browns win.
Yeah, and that's why these Steelers-Browns games are always close, and that's why I might wipe it. I'm undecided on it still. And the Browns just got dominated by the Saints after their bye week and got dominated by the Chargers before it. So, I'm sticking with it. They got dominated out of their bye week. Like, what?
Jameis played well, and it was really just the Taysom Hill show.
Yeah.
And if Taysom Hill has a game like that, that's not something you can really prepare for.
Yeah.
So, how do you put that into your charts and algorithms being like, the Saints didn't really beat them. Taysom Hill beat them.
Yeah, but the Chargers destroyed them 2 weeks before, and that was coming out of a bye week. I don't know. I mean,
the Chargers might be good.
Chargers might be good, but I mean, they've given up ever since beating the Ravens. They've been rough, and their defense they're not performing that well. They're just not, and that's the backbone of this team. I mean, I agree with you. These games are always close, and this feels like a game the Browns might like somehow manage to win. Russ might like just throw the game away. But if the Steelers keep the football on the ground, I think they win this game.
Okay, here's my thoughts. Short week. Steelers just came off an absolute slugfest with the Ravens. Have a 2-game lead in the division. This is a game they lose. I'm taking the Browns plus the points. You're giving me the hook in one of the nastiest, oldest rivalries in the NFL. I'm taking the Browns. I'm taking Jameis Winston. I'm taking 3 with the hook on this one.
I think you talked me out of it. I'm sitting here trying to talk myself into it, and I'm not convincing right now.
You're trying to talk yourself into taking the Steelers?
Yeah.
See, I think the Steelers are a good, solid football team. They don't make mistakes. I think The Steelers'
until
best
Russ
game.
starts making mistakes.
Yeah, I think the Steelers' best game and the Browns' best game, the Browns lose. But the Steelers' floor is so high. I just don't know how much higher they can go. I think they're going to win probably 11 games. I think they're going to be fine. They might win that division, especially with that win over the Ravens. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens drop another one somewhere. But at the same time, it's like the Ravens can get so much higher than the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm taking this off my sheet. Give me a lean to the Steelers here, but I'm not confident enough to actually bet it.
Yeah, on a short week, the Steelers coming off a huge win, back-to-back division games. Browns at home. I feel like the Browns always play the Steelers well, and
They do.
I know in the Baker era they definitely did. So
It's a big rivalry. I mean,
give me Jameis here. Give me Jameis and the boys. And I need some of these 2 to 3 win teams to start winning some games for my Cowboys. Because I mean, we're fully in on Shadur, so we need these teams to start losing quick, fast, or start winning quick, fast, in a hurry. So only way to do that is bet on the Browns. All right, next up we have Vikings Bears. Bears plus 3.5 at home, 39.5 point favorite or total. The two best rookie quarterbacks in the class squaring off this week: JJ McCarthy and Caleb Williams.
that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy, one of the second best record for a rookie QB this year.
He hasn't taken a sack or thrown an interception yet, believe it or not.
Yeah, so playing out of his mind right now. No, I like the Bears here personally. So I was thinking about it, and I know I jokingly texted you about it, but I mean the way they lost to the Packers and the way they lost to the Commanders. I mean, this is a winning football team. Like, you don't lose those games. You don't lose on a Hail Mary.
Matt
you don't
Eberflus
lose.
does.
You you don't lose on a blocked field goal. And I know Bears fans are like, no, we do. That's how we lose games. And it very well may be. But I mean, I think this is a winning football team. And if you're giving me 3.5, I think the Bears are playing pretty well. Caleb looked a lot better last week. I think he goes out there, throws 368 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this week.
So you think he breaks the Bears rookie record for passing yards and passing touchdowns this week?
Yeah, I think he throws 4 touchdowns. I think he throws a screen.
He only needs 232 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns to break those records, by the way.
So we're gonna get a screen touchdown to DeAndre Swift, a screen touchdown to DJ Moore. We're gonna hit a slant to a Dunze that breaks for about 27 yards, and then I think he hits Komet on a deep seam about 40 yards for a touchdown.
I'd love to see it. I'm with you though. I got Bears plus 3.5 in this one. Ball don't lie. Bears were robbed of a win. Vikings eked out a win. Like the scoreboard doesn't, like, they won by 10, but like against Tennessee, I felt like that was kind of telling that the game lingered as long as it did. I think this Vikings team has been kind of sliding back. Sam Darnold is like number 3 in the league for most turnover-worthy plays right now, number 5 for most interceptions. Stuff has come back down to earth. The only thing that worries me is if the Bears can't stop the Vikings run game, it could get ugly, because if you can't stop their run game, they're going to tear you up with play action. You can't commit to the run and defend Justin Jefferson. Like, that's the only thing that worries me in this game, that and Brian Flores. But I think the Bears are due for something to go kind of right, which means at least a cover, I think, is pretty safe at home. The Vikings have a history of blowing games in Chicago where they're supposed to win.
I mean, give me a division rival home underdog every day of the week. I mean, I took the Browns, I took the Bears. I mean, yeah, I like it, especially in some of these home stadiums where true home field advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think after what Caleb did last week for the Bears, that stadium's going to be loud. Like people are excited about Caleb Williams right now in Chicago.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm on Bears there. All right, next up we have Buccaneers versus Giants. Giants plus 5.5 at home, 41.5 point total. It's the Danny DeVito show, Tommy DeVito show there in New York. Daniel Dimes' experience is over. It only took them 6.5 years, so good for them for sticking with it. You think Brian Daboll's gone, or do you think they keep him around?
He's got to be gone. I don't know how you hit the reset button on this whole thing without cleaning out.
But people seem to really like Brian Daboll in the.
I don't know. I'm not plugged in enough with the Giants to have a strong opinion there, but I would think that he's out. Like you supported paying this QB. I think that's enough to say why would we trust you?
Yeah. So we need the Giants to win this game and then beat the Cowboys. This is another team we got to jump to get up there and take our future in Shadir Sanders. So I want to take the Giants here. I think this is a Buccaneers win. 5.5. Weird number. Baker can do it. Buccaneers still very injured. And do you think the Giants get any sort of bump moving on from Danny Dimes?
I don't know. Maybe.
I
don't think so. Just because it's
Tyrone Tracy
cold cuts. Like I'm not buying it. Like both teams are coming off a bye here too. Worth mentioning.
Yeah, and so, Tyrone Tracy's looked decent for him.
Yeah, he's been fun.
And Malik Neighbors is good. But Danny Dimes could run. I don't know how much. Like, I feel like the Giants are trying to lose.
Me too.
Obviously trying to lose. Because I think Daniel Jones still gives them the best chance to win. They just don't want to have to pay out that contract due to injury.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say they're trying to lose, but Brian Daboll's not trying to lose. The players aren't trying to lose. And so I just wonder if we get any sort of juice out of this team with the benching of Danny Dimes. Maybe. I don't know.
All I know is I do not trust Tommy Cold Cuts against a Todd Bowles defense coming off a bye. Like I'm taking Bucks minus 5.5 here. I think the Giants showed that they're trying to lose. Maybe they get a bump from moving on, whatever. But I think the Bucks are the better team. I think they're the better coach. I think they're the more disciplined team, and I think I think the biggest thing that the Giants have going for them is Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence, and I think the Buccaneers have enough on their O-line to manage that.
Yeah, I agree. So I think the Buccaneers get it done. 5.5 is a weird number, and I just don't know if we'll get any juice. I mean, because we saw a little bit of DeVito juice last year, so I just don't know if we'll see it again.
It's that cold cut, man. It's got juice.
It's got juice. Yeah, I'll probably stay away from this one. Yeah. All right, next up we have Patriots, Dolphins. Dolphins minus 7 at home, 45.5 point total. What do you like here?
I don't like it. I want everything in my mind says I want to take the Dolphins here. They're starting to look hot, and they're trying to make it this comeback path. And I do think Drake May is due for a little regression. He's thrown a lot of interceptable passes that haven't been intercepted, and against a hungry Dolphins team, I think they might be able to capitalize on that. But it's in Miami, but I want to bet Dolphins. I just don't trust it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Drake May. I think this Patriots team is live. 7 points is a big number here, but Dolphins at home late in the season. It's hard to go down to Miami this late in the season, especially for those Northeast teams. So I think Dolphins definitely have the advantage there. And I think the Dolphins have looked better than their record shows since Tua's been back. They've lost some pretty hard games. I'm probably leaning Dolphins here.
Yeah, I think I can only go as far as a lean because I think Drake May is too live for me to take 7. I do think he's going to throw some picks in this game, but I don't know if that means that the Dolphins will cover 7, so I'm staying away.
What do you think about this rookie class with these quarterbacks? Drake May looks good. Drake May, to me, looks like outside of Caleb, because completely different situation, I think. But outside of Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix, I think Drake May looks like he has the most staying power out of the 3.
I agree. I mean, Drake May was my QB too. He was my second best prospect in the class.
The only thing, like, we'll talk about it when we get to Denver in a minute, if they're not on bye. But I mean, Bo Nix, he's not doing a whole lot, but he's producing at a high level. And if that's all he has to do in a Sean Payton offense, I guess fine.
Yeah,
but
he's Teddy Bridgewater. Like, if he can do the Teddy Bridgewater thing in Sean Payton's offense, he'll be fine. And that's what he's been executing. Kudos to him. He's doing it.
He looks like Brock Purdy 3 years ago. I think Brock Purdy has taken a lot of steps. I think Brock Purdy is a legitimate quarterback now in the league, but he looks like rookie year Brock Purdy. So I think something to be said for that. I think he can maybe be more, but he looks very replaceable in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he never had the physical tools that really made you say, like, oh, that dude will last in this league. But he's doing it mentally right now, and I gotta give him credit for
that. All right, yeah, I'm passing on that one. Next up, we have Texans, Titans. Texans at home, 8.5-point favorites, 41.5-point total. Texans didn't look great against the Cowboys. They tried to give the game away a couple of times, and the Cowboys just did everything they could do to not win the game. I think just a half-decent quarterback play in the Cowboys game, the Texans lose that game. The Texans have been playing with fire all year. 8.5 seems like a big number, especially with that Titans defense. Kind of want to go Titans here.
I don't trust the Texans cover 8.5. I don't trust the Titans to lose by less than 10. So I'm like, I don't trust either side here, because I feel like the Titans, I felt like they should be feisty each of the last 2 weeks, and they've lost each of the last 2 weeks by 10. So, like, that's cover range for 8.5, but I don't trust it.
So is this a first half cover? First half line's got to be 3.5, 4?
I think that could be in play.
Yeah, they'll keep it close early on, and then they'll just make some bonehead mistakes down the stretch and lose by 10 to 17.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could be a first half play would be the only thing I'd consider here.
This Texans team just seems broken, and maybe Nico had a monster play to start the Cowboys game, 78-yard touchdown, get called back for Laramie Tunsil being an ineligible man downfield, blocking nobody, just kind of standing there 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, which I think is the fucking stupidest call in the world. Like, I understand an eligible man downfield, but I feel like the rule for when the rule was made, the spirit of the rule, I think we can get past it. And like in a situation like that, it's like he's obviously, I don't know, it's frustrating, especially with everybody having to report nowadays with tackle eligibles and all this other stuff. Like, hey, if the defense doesn't recognize a guy as eligible, it's on them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sucks to lose a play like that for a guy just standing there not doing something, like that's
getting lost. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I don't know. It's one of the most frustrating. I feel like they've been emphasizing it these past 2 years too, because it's like, a couple of years ago, like you saw ineligible man downfield maybe once, twice a season, and it'd be like some idiot like trying to block a safety or something. Like
when the RPOs came in the league heavy, that's when they started zeroing in on it, because that's when you really had issues with it.
But on a clear passing play where like maybe you were blocking somebody and they took off somewhere else and like you're just kind of standing there doing nothing, like it's kind of against the spirit of the rule, in my opinion.
We got Scott from
But
Iowa in the comments saying he likes Titans plus 8.5 and the over 41.5, which I think might be a live. I was thinking about that. Like, I don't think I'm going to take it, but like, I part of me thinks like maybe the Texans score 30 here, and the Titans score 13, 14.
yeah, I could see it. I think we definitely need Texans points here. It's gonna be hard for I think it'll be hard for the Titans to score it. My only thing is it could easily be like a 21-6 game.
Yeah, that's why I'm only a lean. Like
Yeah.
I think the Texans
Titans
might
got to score
do
early.
something, but I don't trust the Titans to put up a whole lot of points.
Yeah, I think the Titans would have to score early. I don't know. That's a gross total, but I don't hate the over.
Yeah, I think I like the Texans minus 8.5 more than the over.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on that.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? We got Cowboys Commanders at home, 10.5 point favorites, 44.5 point total. Still not moving on to Trey Lance, which is absolutely crazy to me that you give up a third round pick for a guy who was third overall pick. The same season that you extend your starting quarterback 4 years goes down, and you're like, well, we did trade for the third overall pick of just a couple of years ago, and we just paid our quarterback. So, like, it might be nice to see what we did with this draft capital. Just throw him out there and see what happens. Nope, it's the Cooper Rush. So,
will Trey Lance
for the
ever
foreseeable,
throw his 109th career pass?
Who knows? I want to take the Commanders here. I really do. I think this is going to be I think it wasn't talked about how much Dan Quinn wanted the head coaching job in Dallas and how much I think a lot of people inside the organization wanted Dan Quinn to get the head coaching job in Dallas. And then they kept Mike McCarthy. And in my opinion, I thought if Mike McCarthy was gone, the whole staff was gone. I didn't think it would have been Dan Quinn, even if Mike McCarthy had left. But a lot of people close to the organization, former players wise, seem to disagree with that. They think there was actual legs to Dan Quinn getting that job and Mike McCarthy being fired. I don't know how much truth is to that, but if there is any truth to that whatsoever, Commanders are going to win this game by 100.
I kind of like Commanders minus 10.5.
Yeah. I do know he wanted to bring Al Davis with him, and Jerry Jones blocked that.
The Raiders owner? Isn't he dead?
No, not Al Davis. Who is the corner? Who's our DB's coach? He was the corner for the Packers for a long time. Long dreads.
Al
Harris. Al Harris.
I'll take Commanders minus 10.5. I'm adding that to my.
I'll take Commanders 10.5. That's fine. I'm rooting so hard for the Cowboys to lose because we're on to shit.
I mean, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, how fast and aggressive that Washington team plays versus the way the Cowboys are playing right now, I think they're going to blow them out. And
they have like 5 players on the Commanders that played defense for the Cowboys last year.
Yeah.
And Dan Quinn knows
Washington,
this. And Dan Quinn knows this Mike McCarthy offense.
Yeah. Commanders minus 10.5. I like that play.
Dallas can't run the ball even if they wanted to. Also, I haven't checked any injury updates. We lost every single O-lineman we had. Zach Martin went down. Tyler Guyton went down. Tyler Smith went down. The only starting offensive lineman we have left is Terrence Steele, and he was probably the worst out of the 5 to start with. We have Brock Hoffman playing left tackle who played center for us last year. It's an absolute shit show.
I'm still not convinced that Brock Hoffman's a real person.
Yeah, well, you would think he didn't exist watching him play last night. You would have been better off just not having a fifth offensive lineman out there than having Brock Hoffman out there.
Fair enough. Fair
So take that with what you will. All right, next up we have Chiefs Panthers. Panthers plus 10.5, 43.5 point total. I would have loved the Panthers here maybe last week before the Bills game. I might bet this game, and I hate betting the Chiefs on a big spread. This might be just like an absolute thrashing.
I mean, I really think the Panthers are bad. Like bad. But they have a good O-line. And I don't know. Here's my hesitation in betting this game. For some reason, I could see the Chiefs winning this game like 20-10. And I don't know why. It's just like the Chiefs do weird things with big spreads, I feel like. I don't trust them.
On a normal week, I think they come out and make a statement, honestly. Because I mean, I think they could have won last week against the Bills. I mean, they did have opportunities. But first loss of the season, we have some young guys on this Chiefs team. I think they're going to bounce back. Travis Kelce is starting to get going. I wouldn't be surprised if they put 40 on them. And if they put 40 on this Panthers team, ain't no way the Panthers are scoring more than 20.
I mean, the Panthers are bad. Like, I mean, their defense, they don't have the bodies. They don't have the players.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this Chiefs offense is going to prove a point and get going.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. I just hate betting two numbers that big in the same week, especially. Like,
yeah.
But screw it. We're gonna live this week.
Hey, I mean, we're talking about back-to-back Super Bowl champs going for a three-peat, coming off their first loss of the season against quite possibly the worst team in the league. I mean, there's worse times to take a big spread.
Yeah. There's just so the talent-wise, I have no issue with this bet, and I am taking it. But I want to explain my hesitation a little more of like on the road, going pretty decently across the country, KC to North Carolina. I mean, it's a battle for barbecue. Those things get heated. That was a joke, but I mean, Scott's in here saying Panthers plus 10.5 because the Chiefs don't blow anybody out, and that's my hesitation. But you know what? I'm taking Chiefs.
We've talked about that all year, and we haven't really taken the Chiefs much this year.
No, we
haven't. And I understand that the Chiefs have played in all these close games. They've squeaked by a lot of these games, winning by a field goal, winning the last play of the game, blocking a field goal. All these things are true, but we're talking about maybe the worst team in the league, quite possibly the worst team in the league, going against the two-time Super Bowl champions who are coming off their first loss in over a year. I mean, what they in the last year on like a 4-game winning streak. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure they were at like 18 games straight. They were about to start challenging the Patriots record from the undefeated season following the Super Bowl victory from the year before. So I think this offense gets going. I think that's the real thing. And if this offense can score in the 30s and the 40s, this defense is going to be angry. And even if they're not angry, I don't know how well the Panthers offense could do if they weren't angry.
Referee special.
You're from the Midwest. You're not supposed to bitch about the refs for the Chiefs.
I guess not.
Who's the NFL team for Iowa? I would have figured it'd been the Chiefs.
Oh, Scott's a Bears fan. Scott's one of my dudes.
Scott's the homie.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Lions going to Indy Indy is a 7.5-point dog, total of 50.5.
Yeah, I might be at the point in the season where you just blindly take the Lions, and it doesn't matter who they're playing. Dan Campbell, I saw this on the internet from a girl talking about Dan Campbell, and she was comparing it to ex relationships. And she said, Dan Campbell was on that 0-16 team. He remembers being 0-16 in the city of Detroit. And now that he's with his quote unquote new girlfriend, new team, and they have a chance to just destroy people and break your will and not stop, he's going to do it because he remembers teams just burying them for 16 straight games. And I was like, I could see it. I could see Dan Campbell waking up and being like, God, like, remember how bad it felt going 0-16? Like, I don't care if we're up by 35. We're doing a double reverse screen pass, flea flicker to Jamison Williams 85 yards down the field.
Yeah. Getting out there. Scott's saying Lions plus 7.5. I think he means minus, and the over. I'm thinking the over here.
Yeah, I mean, Lions have scored over 40 3 times this year or twice this year by themselves?
A lot. I mean, they've done it too many times. I'm taking the over in this. Like,
yeah, let's take the over. Let's take Lions Colts over.
This Colts defense is not very good, especially against the pass. I don't know if they can really stop. Like, they're decent against the run, but the Lions run the football. Like,
Anthony Richardson did look good though.
That's why I like the over. That's actually why I like the over, because I do think this Lions defense is a little susceptible, and I think that Shane Steichen can scheme some stuff up to take advantage of it and put some points on the board.
That was the best Anthony Richardson has looked since I've seen him, going back to his Florida days. I mean, he was hitting people and in their hands and not accidentally, and doing it more than once. Anthony Richardson looked competent, which we haven't seen from him as a passer ever.
Yeah,
maybe
I like this
maybe just benching him a couple of weeks is what fixed him.
I mean, maybe that did it. And I think points, and weird stuff happens in Indy. That's why I'm not taking Lions.
Florida coach is just punching air, being like, all we had to do is bench him for a week. All right, next up, Broncos, Raiders. Raiders plus 5.5 at home, 41.5 point total. All right, so Bo Nix. He's either really good or Sean Payton can just get the most out of anybody. But at the same time, then why was he so eager to move on from Russell Wilson? Because they're still paying Russell Wilson. And I look at this Broncos offense with the way it's working, and I look at the Steelers offense and the way it's working. I'm like, I think Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than Bo Nix right now. Did they just hate Russell Wilson that much? Because people forget that Russell Wilson looked very competent at the back end of last season on the Broncos. Like, it wasn't nearly as bad as his first year there and the first few games under Sean Payton.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what Sean Payton wants, Russell Wilson can't give him. He can put it, like, I think he could do some decent numbers in that offense, but I don't think he attacks the middle of the field the way that Sean Payton wants to. That's something Bo Nix is willing to do and capable of doing. Like, I mean, capable-ish of doing.
Bo Nix isn't good.
No.
I don't think right now. I'm not saying he cannot not be good. I don't think he's good right now, and I think there's a good chance if they win a couple more games, he could win Rookie of the Year. Which, if you got a Bo Nix Rookie of the Year ticket, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Because I think it's very possible that he wins Rookie of the Year. And I think it's very possible that he's the first quarterback gone out of this rookie quarterback class from their team.
Yeah. I mean, I Bo Nix is developing. Yeah, Sean Payton's doing good stuff with him. I don't think that he's as responsible for their success as it's being perceived right now. But
Defense is so
hey,
good.
the guy's he's still doing stuff, and I can't take it away from him. Just like I was saying with Jaden Daniels earlier this year. I didn't think Jaden Daniels would be what he's been. I got to hand it to him. The guy's doing it.
Yeah. With all that said, I would probably take the Broncos here. The Raiders are so hard to bet on because they do have playmakers, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that can wreck games.
Mm-hmm.
And the question mark on the Broncos team is the offense, in my opinion, even coming off a 3-touchdown week by Bo Nix. I might like the under here. I mean, I might just bet Raiders team total under, honestly, if we're talking bets for this game where I have to bet something. Let me see if I can find a team total for the.
Yeah, if I have to bet something, I'm just betting Broncos minus 5.5, but I'm not betting this one just because I don't like betting games with two bad quarterbacks, and that's how I see this one. Like I feel like they're very unpredictable, weird things happen, and I just can't assume that I know what's going to happen in these games.
Yes, and I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to score points here. I really don't. So I would probably lean the under if I had to do something. But at the same time,
20 against KC.
Yeah, I could see both of these teams throwing multiple pick sixes too. So
yeah,
those are
always a
underkillers.
factor. All right, moving on.
All right, 49ers versus Packers. Packers minus 2.5 at home, 47.5 point total. The two teams I probably hate worse in this league, but I don't think the 49ers are good. Even getting Christian McCaffrey back, something is broken about that team. I don't know if it's Brendan Ayuk going out. I don't know if they're getting old. I don't know if people have figured them out. But, I mean, I don't think the 49ers look great against the Dallas team that was completely dead in the water either. 49ers do not look good right now. I didn't think the Packers looked great against the Bears. I think both of these teams are frauds, but give me the Packers at home minus 2.5. I think I'm taking this one. I think the 49ers are broken. I think getting Christian McCaffrey back, force feeding him his 26 touches a game, however you got to get it to him between running and passing, I don't think is elevating them whatsoever. I think they were better off just with their rotation of Garendo and the other guy they had. Jordan Mason. Yeah, I'm not saying they were better off, but just as good. I think they've been trying to reestablish McCaffrey into this offense so far, and I think it's been a detriment for them. And yeah, I like the Packers here. I thought the 49ers would cruise last week, and I think they just looked broken and discombobulated from the start.
You were just a week early. I got 2 units on the 49ers money line.
Okay.
Ball don't lie. Packers, they should have lost last week.
Okay, I'm not taking the Packers, but I'm not taking the 49ers either. I'm not convinced.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll just call it a no bet.
This is more a bet against the Packers and on the history of 49ers Packers and on when everyone starts to question Kyle Shanahan. I think there's going to be a loud answer.
So that's not that last week when I bet on the 49ers against the Seahawks. So maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not going to go against your 2-unit play, but I can't bet on the 49ers in this spot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just the way I see. I think Shanahan's going to bounce back here with it. I mean, I don't know if it's going to mean their season saved, but I think Shanahan's going to put together an aces game plan.
How nice would it be if 49ers?
And Jordan Love isn't good.
They draft well, so if the 49ers lose this game, they're just going to draft a Hall of Famer at like 14. So
probably. All right. Let's move it on.
All right, next up we have Cardinals, Seahawks. Cardinals leading that NFC West. Cardinals, Seahawks at home, minus 1.5, 47.5 point total here. You know we're not sleeping on them Cardinals.
No, we ain't been sleeping on them Cardinals.
And They're going to win the division.
They just might. I mean, I think them or the Seahawks are both right there in it. Like I'm
I
not
don't trust
sleeping
the
on the
Rams.
Cardinals, but I really like the Seahawks team.
We say every week we're not sleeping on the Cardinals, and then you bet against them.
No, I've only bet against them once this year. Or no, not even.
I've talked you out of betting against them like 4 times.
No.
Yeah.
I've won like 5 bets on the Cardinals this year.
Because I convinced you after you say you like the other team.
No. You're blowing this out of proportion.
No. You're always like, you're right. We're not sleeping on the Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals. And then
you might talk me into the bet. You didn't talk me out of betting against them, though.
It's the same thing.
No.
You're taking the Seahawks?
No, I'm not taking the Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
I was saying for the division. I really like the Seahawks team. I'm not sleeping on the Cardinals, but like
if you like the Seahawks to win this division, you would think they would have to win this game, because if they lose this game, they go down 3 games with 8 left.
Yeah, can't I say I like both these teams? I think that it's going to be a tough battle for the division.
If the Cardinals win this game, they got a pretty big lead on that division.
They do, but they still have another game in Arizona, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah, I think they. I don't think they've played yet.
Give me the Cardinals.
Take it. I like it. I mean, I'm not betting this one because in Seattle just worries me, but I could see the Cardinals doing it. I love the Cardinals way they play that defense, man. Their scheme is just disgusting in the best way possible.
Seattle. I mean, I love Jackson Smith-Njigba coming out of that draft. He was one of my favorite receivers in that draft. I thought it was shocking when he went to Seattle. I think it's safe to say that who's the other receiver there? Not DK.
Lockett.
I think it's safe to say finally Lockett's time has gone in his JSN era there in Seattle. He looks so damn good. One of the best pure route runners I've ever seen, and he's finally getting a shot.
Yeah, I can buy that. I mean, I think that's kind of what I was expecting coming into this year, and it's been working out the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think he's got over 10 targets the last 3 games.
Yeah.
So, all right, next up we have Eagles Rams. Rams 2.5-point underdogs at home, 45.5-point total. Oh man, I want to take the Rams here, but Eagles just refuse to lose, and they're not playing good. Saquon is out of this world. Saquon is covering up so many bad things about this offense, which I guess if he's a major part of that offense, maybe they're just a good offense.
Wait. Hold up. I got to put this out there. I bet on the Cardinals more than you this year.
I don't know about that.
Yep, 6-5. I had to pull the receipt.
And I convinced you on all 6 of those.
Hey, more is what wins.
More is more. I should take my own advice. Yeah, but I don't think this Eagles offense is good. I think Saquon is incredible and bails them out of a lot of bad situations.
AJ Brown's pretty good too.
Yes.
And so is Devonta Smith.
Oh.
And their O-line.
Yes, and yes. But I'm talking about just their offense as a whole in totality. The way they're playing, like I don't feel like the offense is playing that great.
I understand what you mean.
Saquon is bailing them out.
They have the talent to be bailed out of bad situations. That doesn't mean they're an efficient offense.
Yes, and by that talent, what has AJ Brown done to bail them out? What are all these weapons and great O-line doing? Like Saquon's putting the team on his back, and at times, and like I think without Saquon, this team's lost 4 or 5 games already.
Oh, probably. I mean, he's been awesome, and I mean AJ Brown has had some huge monster games for them this year.
He also missed 4 games?
Something like that. 3, maybe? Or
3.
4? Either 3 or 4.
But so now the Rams are starting to get healthy, and you would have thought the Rams were going to go on a little bit of win streak here. They just can't seem to put all the pieces together, even though all the pieces are there. Kyron Williams all of a sudden can't score a touchdown. It's 3 weeks in a row he hasn't scored a touchdown now, but his yards are up, his carries are up. Puka Nakua's getting 12 catches, 100 yards a game. Cooper Kupp scoring 65-yard touchdowns. You look at this team and you're like, everything is clicking. Why aren't they winning? I don't know why they're not winning.
They've won 4 or 5.
Have they won 4 or 5?
Uh-huh.
Thought they lost 2 weeks in a row.
No, they won 4. They beat the Raiders, beat the Vikings, beat the Seahawks, lost to the Dolphins, beat the Patriots. They're feisty right now.
Maybe I'm thinking around the wrong team. I want to like the Rams here. I'm just tired of watching this Eagles team play, knowing they're not playing well and still winning. This is like their Super Bowl run, where every single game outside of the actual Super Bowl, where Nick Foles just played out of his mind, they were just winning in the stupidest ways possible every week. And I'm like, you can't keep getting away with this. Can't keep getting away with this. Like, as soon as somebody comes out there and executes, they're not going to be able to do it. And then they play Tom Brady in the Super Bowl and throw for 568 yards and 6 touchdowns and score 54 fucking points. I don't know.
All I know is this Eagles defense is flying right now. They're playing great football. Like, the offense, I feel like, to your point, is herky-jerky, but they have the talent to afford that to a degree and the defense to back it up.
Kellen Moore's going to get a head coaching job.
Probably.
In Chicago.
Probably.
Good luck.
I'm resigned to that. I'm staying away from this game just because I don't trust the Eagles flying all the way across the country on this. I feel like the line represents that too, of you want to take the Eagles minus 2.5, right? Like it's just they're holding the cheese out for me right here. But I'm not doing it. I'm just staying away.
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one too. All right, next up, Ravens Chargers. Harbaugh Bowl.
Oh, Chargers. This is I forgot this was the Harbaugh Bowl. Oh.
Yeah, Chargers +3 at home, 49.5 point total. Chargers playing well right now.
Why can't the Chargers have lost last week or something? I feel like I'd like this so much more if they did.
Yeah, they would have both been coming off losses to division rivals. No, what Chargers played Bengals, not a division rival. Division rival of the Ravens. Yeah, I have no idea where this is going to go. I don't like the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers are that good. Justin Herbert tried every which way to throw that game away. He had some incredible throws to get them an early lead. As soon as they got a lead, Justin Herbert looked like absolute dog shit. Couldn't hit water if he jumped out of a boat late in the game. Finally puts it together for a game-winning drive, hits Ladd McConkey. I don't trust Justin Herbert. I think he is supremely talented. I don't trust him. I think this Ravens team coming off of a loss is going to get it done. Also, John owns Jim in head-to-heads, I'm pretty sure.
1-0, I think.
They only played one time?
I thought so. Maybe they played. Or actually, you know what? I think our offseason spreadsheet says what the record is. Let me see.
Yeah, because Jim was definitely in San Francisco longer than 4 years. So would have had to play at least twice.
Let's see. So if I go to Baltimore. I don't know. I didn't put it in here. It's just the first time they faced off since.
Well, how long was he in San Francisco?
Let's see.
Because if it was 5 years, it's possible that they played twice, but anything less than 4 years.
So Jim Harbaugh took over in San Francisco in 2011 and left in 2014.
So it is possible they only played once.
Let's see. I'll take a look. Let's see.
11 season, 12 season, 13 season, 14 season.
So in 2011, they played Baltimore, but Okay, so John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh's been in Baltimore since Nam.
So Ravens won the first one.
Okay, so then they only played twice. They wouldn't have played in 14.
Ravens won the second one. Super Bowl.
Yeah, they played Super Bowl. They played regular season.
Yeah, I'm just
2-0.
going year by year right now.
Yeah,
Make sure.
it's gotta be just 2-0 because they didn't play the extra game. Then
So
it was only
do you
16
really
games.
think Jim Harbaugh falls to 0-3 against his younger brother?
His younger brother, who's the better coach? Yes, I do.
I think Jim has the better win percentage.
There's no way that's true.
In the NFL? I think pretty sure Jim has the better win percentage.
John went like 3-12 his first, or they only won like 3 games his first year in San Francisco.
No, I'm talking Jim. Jim was in San Francisco. And no, they made the playoffs his first year in San Francisco.
John is the Ravens are winning this game.
Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco went. Oh wait, I need the coaching page.
They had one bad. I know they had at least one bad year. Ravens haven't gone.
Their
on
bad
the-
year was like 8-8.
John Harbaugh
he went 13-3, 11-4, 12-4, and 8-8 for a record of 44-19, a 69.5 win percentage. His overall NFL head coaching record is 69.6% winning percentage.
And what's John's?
Let's see.
It's got to be close to that.
No, I don't think it. I mean,
when was the last time the Ravens went less than 8-8?
John's at 61.9. So Jim has won 5% more of his games than John.
And a quarter of the time?
Quarter of the time. Oh yeah, something like that. I don't even want to do that.
But
But my point stands. Jim has a better win percentage.
But John's the better coach.
We sure about that?
I would take John Harbaugh over Jim Harbaugh any day. One of them's won a Super Bowl.
I agree with you. I would. But I think Jim is the more psychotic one.
Yeah, and that just proves that doesn't win big games against your brother.
I don't know. I'm staying away from this. I want to bet the Chargers so bad, but the fact that the Ravens just lost and the Chargers just won throws me off the scent. It is cross-country travel, but I can't bet it. I can't.
Give me the Ravens. Give me the 2-time. Having a bad week. Give me Tractor Cito. Give me Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh. I can't keep up with Jims and Jams.
It's too many Jims and Johns and Jacks.
Yeah. Give me the Ravens, Harbaugh. Yeah. They have the better quarterback. They have the better running back. They have the better coach. They have the better team. They need the win more than the Chargers.
J.K. Dobbins' revenge game?
Gus Edwards' revenge game? Who's their offensive coordinator?
Greg Roman revenge game?
Greg Roman revenge game?
There's got to be other Ravens in there, too. They added a bunch of former Ravens.
Yeah, they just took all the leftover Ravens. Like, obviously, the Ravens are a better team. They let these guys go for nothing. These were free agents.
Mm-hmm.
They said you can go sign wherever you want.
Oh man, this is exciting. That's an exciting Monday Night Football game.
And Lamar is good. He's the 2-time.
It's gonna be fun.
It is gonna be fun. I'm excited.
All right, college
Give me
football.
the Ravens. College football. All right, you go first. I gotta.
Ooh, I don't even. So I do not have any college football.
Oh man, we got to break down a slate real quick. Let me just pull up the top 25 matchups this week because I haven't had a great chance to look at it real quick. As we're talking about it, BYU lost last week. Our darlings, and they dropped the new playoff bracket today, and it's an absolute mess.
BYU are 3.5-point dogs at Arizona State.
Let's see here. So right off the bat, I like, oh man, Arizona State's been playing good though. If they didn't lose to Tech earlier in the season, they'd be cruising right now. I don't know. Army, Notre Dame, Boise, Wyoming. This slate's not good.
Ooh, Alabama minus 14.5 against Oklahoma. I'm taking that all day.
I'll take that with you. What do you think about Indiana, Ohio State? I might take Indiana plus the points here, 13.5.
Yeah.
Kurt Signetti, they've been able to score on everybody. I mean, I know they haven't played a whole lot of people either, but they've been able to score. I might like the over in that game, 51.5. Give me the over. Give me Indiana.
Yeah, I'm taking Indiana. Cover
Give
12.5. Number 5 versus number 2. I think that's too big a number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. And then give me Minnesota plus 12.5 versus Penn State.
Where is that? Is that
Minnesota.
at Penn State or at Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Okay, I'm just going to ride with my 2. That's all I got for college this week. I haven't looked enough at it.
Yeah, I completely forgot to check it. I knew I didn't love the slate. But yeah, I'll take Minnesota. I'll take the over in Ohio State and Indiana. I'll take Indiana. And I think that'll be it for me.
All right. I think that covers it then.
All right, that'll do it. We'll also drop our 15-minute podcast starting shortly. So if you want to stick around for that, if you're live, please stick around. And that'll do it for this week. Don't sleep on the Cardinals, even though Q has done it way more than I have this year. He refuses to bet on them. So keep that in mind. And we will see y'all next week for Feast Week Turkey Bowl.
Caca.
Caca. This is what a turkey sounds like.
That's how we've won all year, team, right? Hey, you held them to 20 points, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
gave us a chance at the end. I got 3 words for you. You like that?